Evening. I guess you're all wondering why I've gathered you here this evening.
Why are you in a tea?
Right. Where's my tie?
Your preacher tie.
I'm a preacher tie. Anybody that couldn't make it, we just they just go online. So if y'all have questions, we'll do like we did in the olden days. Maybe what color do you want?
It's your birthday. Pink. She wants the pink one.
Tigers.
We'll give the one back. We'll just grab it if we need it.
Okay. And you'll have to press the gray button and hold it. It'll come on. And if you get unruly, we'll just mute you.
Excuse me.
All right, let me get connected now. I don't know if that's as big as I can get it. Y'all might have to move up. Might have to turn those mics off. They're buzzing really bad. Just mute them. So I didn't bring copies of these, but these are basically just what we all got at the last business meeting. So if you have questions about certain things, I can look on here and pass these around if you want. So one of the big questions is, it's a very big move, it seems, and how is it going to be viable? That's really the question. How do we make it viable? So what I did today is, I know it's going to be, you might be difficult to see those little numbers, but if you want to, walk up here and look at them. If you want to really look at them, do that. Don't feel bad about doing that. So what we did here is the very
Is your
top-
mic on?
Huh?
Matt's asking if your mic's on.
Oh, mine's not on. I thought we were doing the pulpit mic. We're not doing the pulpit mic?
I can use that one if you want to.
Yep. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Okay. Is it okay now? As we can see at the top left of your screens, this is what Jennifer sent today. This is our current bank balance. That's what's in the bank right now. So below that are the fund balances. The last one I got was February, so I put February in there. So obviously there have been more deposits, and there have probably been some expenditures out of that. I don't think detailing every expenditure again like we did at the business meeting is necessary. You can see the balance. That's what it was as of February. That's what it is as of today. Okay? So obviously you're going to have expenses and things coming out of that. So one of the things that we have mentioned is that the roof on this building is going to need replaced. So if we start at the top left square first, and basically if we just move this slider over to approximate price to replace this roof, this is an industry average price for this square footage, about 3,500 square feet. And it does have, I think, was it called hips, whatever those are called there, Steve? So hips cost more, whatever, but anyway. That's the approximate price is $40,000 approximately. It can go anywhere down from $25,000, the price. It can go as little as $25,000, depending on what we get. Now, this is metal. This is not shingles. This is metal roof. So if we were to replace the roof, I think trustees, and I think y'all would all agree, metal would be the way to go. Because we never have to worry about it again, pretty much. So it could be as little as around 25,000, which, if you're looking at it, I'm not trying to scare you or anything by looking at this balance at the bottom, but it's just a calculator, okay? It's just a calculator. So, but looking at the cost of the roof, anywhere from 25.5 to as high as 55 for this roof. That's what it would cost to put a durable roof on it. So I'm going to make that back to 0. The air conditioner is optional to replace here, but it could go out. It's, I don't know, how old is it? Do y'all know how old?
It's over 11 years, 11, 12. It's probably pushing 15.
Pushing 15 years old. It's pushing 15. Mine in my house was in 1996. So I'm replacing both of mine this year, and that's going to be fun. So to replace the air conditioner for this building, is it a 4-ton or a 5-ton? 4. That's what I priced, was a 4-ton, because I was just guessing on that. And what I did basically is put a calculator, 3,500 square feet, and did what size air conditioner, and it said 4 tons. So, all right. So an air conditioner, to replace the air conditioner, is approximately $19,500 average price for what we need to replace. It could be as little as $15,000. It could be as high as $24,000 to replace the roof. I mean,
We never got an estimate from a installer, like a Shanklin or somebody like that. We never got a firm estimate. These are basically high and low estimates.
Yeah, that's all this is, just estimates. Yeah, this is, I mean, this is not an official, I called Shanklin and they said, this is an industry average price for a 4-ton AC.
Yeah.
Could be less, could be more. That's why I left the slider to be able to go all the way down to 0 if necessary. I mean, if we all we had to replace was, say, the A coil, that would be less, obviously, than replacing the whole unit, right?
We wouldn't replace it until it went bad, but we still
Exactly.
need the money.
We wouldn't replace it unless it goes bad.
Right, but we need the money on
Yeah.
hand in case that.
Yeah, right.
Why do you want to replace a roof if it isn't 25 years old? Just a few shingles come off.
The
It's
roof?
15-year shingles is what it's on there.
Huh?
Those are 15-year shingles on there.
Yeah, and we've had leaks. We have shingles come off. We've been patching shingles for a while. How old is the roof?
And they put the addition on it, did the roof.
Yeah, it's probably over 10 years, 10, 20
Yeah,
years.
the roofs will last 25, I'm
No.
sure.
No. We're talking about the addition. You're talking about.
Oh, the addition's been that long.
Yeah.
So I came up here in '09, and the roof hasn't been replaced since then, since I've been here in '09. So that's
We
what,
said you did the
17
whole thing when you
years?
did the addition.
Yeah, so I've been here for 17 years. So if it's a 15-year roof, if y'all replaced it, it would have been more than 17 years ago when it was replaced.
Yeah, they're on 15-year shingles.
Yeah, so I'm just saying that's going to come up. So again, if we had to replace both, this is the cost. It'd be about $59,500 to replace both. Average cost. We could get it cheaper. It could be more. Average cost, industry standard for those items. So first of all, that's what we're looking at. So the question is, do we wait it out, and do we borrow money when it's necessary to do those things? That's an option. But regardless, unless somebody here's got deep pockets, if something happens, we're going to have to borrow money to do it, essentially. So there's that option. So the other option is, do we look at another option? We look at moving, finding another building. So if we move over to the right side over here, these are expenses right now. I took the electric, and it says natural gas, but I forgot to put on there fuel oil because we use fuel oil here. So the cost is the fuel oil per month, the entire year divided by 12, okay? So a monthly cost. Same with Church Street. Church Street, I took the sheets that they gave us with their bills, their actual bills from, I forget who the electric company is, and the gas company there, maybe Enbridge, maybe,
Yeah, they changed. It was Ohio, or not Ohio, somebody.
Dominion, maybe. Yeah, good.
When you did
kind of flatten out the 3-year history? Because remember, they're a little bit wonky because of the timing.
I did last year.
Okay.
Yep.
I do think it's a little bit high, but that's conservative.
It was whatever was on this sheet.
Okay.
So in this case, if we look on here, fuel oil was $24.83.71.
Because the year before that, it was 720, and the year before that, it was 2,600. So I think the reality is probably somewhere between
It's-
18 and 2,000.
Possibly. You want to add it up and do it for me real quick? You got a calculator? I can give you the numbers.
No, there's a couple of
I
years
got
they
it.
didn't give us a bill.
Hmm?
We didn't get a bill for a couple of months or something like that, so we had to pay a big lump sum at one time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Now we're on a payment schedule where they just top.
Like a
off
flat
everything.
rate or a, okay,
So it won't be a big lump chunk at one time.
gotcha.
If I take all 3 of the last year's actual cash out and average it to a monthly, it's 164 per month.
So 164,
$154 a month.
I can go down to 165. That's as low as I go.
Maybe you put it at like 175, because the 700 feels extra low, so.
Close enough. So, and the electric, that was easy enough. I just did last year's electric total cost divided by 12, which was $1,725.29. Divided by 12 comes out to $143.77 per month for Alabama Avenue. Building services, I had a question about that. I wasn't sure. I took the entire building services amount divided by 12. And I just pasted it on both buildings because one is internet, one is security, one I think is plowing. There's various things in that expense.
That we would have at either place.
Yeah, we would have those at either place. Now the internet, it could be cheaper, it could be more. I don't know what we pay here for the internet. I just took the total cost of building, what's it called, services, $1,064.23 for the year, which was actually a little less than last year. Last year was $1,213.75. So divided that by 12, you get $88.69. That slider can go either direction. Okay, so natural gas. Natural gas is the cost of the year, was it last year's? Last year's natural gas for Church Street. I took the entire thing and averaged it. It's $195.27 per month. Okay, so and now with natural gas, you don't have the gray area of in December they filled it, but you didn't get the bill till January, February. So that cost looks like it's on this year, but it's not, right? So natural gas is you use it, you pay for it.
A question
Now,
about that.
yeah, who? Yes.
This place has been on the market for
Year and a
over
half.
Years.
Year and a
So
half.
I'm assuming they've kept the heater and everything going
Yes.
while it's been on the market. Okay.
They've kept everything at bare minimum. Yep.
Okay.
I think it was at 50 degrees, so that number probably doesn't reflect.
This is occupied. This
An
number is
occupied
occupied.
value?
Yes, not empty. This number is occupied cost. Yep.
So we
They were
got
in
'em-
business.
We got them years back, not since the building has been shut down.
Correct. We got the year they were occupied. Yes, correct.
Okay.
Thanks for correcting me on that. Sorry?
No, I'm saying, okay, that's good to
Yeah.
clarify that.
Yep.
It does make a difference.
Yeah, so water and sewer, I had a call into Marshallville today, but they couldn't get back to me in time. So I got the average cost. So the average cost for water and sewer for them is anywhere from $40 to $55. Okay? Depending on how much water you use. 700 gallons, I think, is the cutoff per block of water, whatever. It's city water, city sewer. So I just made it $50. $5 below the 55. So I made it $50. So these are the costs. At the bottom, the red number means that that's cost more than what we're paying now per month. Okay? If it was green at the bottom, then it would be a savings for us. So right now, the cost is pretty stable between the two. We're talking $64. Okay? Any questions about that? So month-to-month cost. Now, the only thing I did not put in here, which I was going to update this page at the bottom, but was insurance costs. We don't know about the insurance yet. Still looking.
Yeah, that's gonna run at least $4,000.
We're not sure yet. We're still looking. There are some places that will insure it with a slate roof, depending on the type of insurance you buy. There's one that's replacement, which is more expensive, and there's one that is, it will replace but not with slate. Does that make sense?
No.
Doesn't make sense?
With a different product. Is that
They replace it with a cheaper product than slate. They will not replace the slate. So if you buy one that is replacement insurance as is, they'll put it all back like it was, right? But there's another one that's cheaper that if you say, okay, well, we'll settle with shingles, they give you a discount. You don't pay as much per month. But we're waiting on those quotes.
I don't think we're required to keep that building in some historic
No,
preservation.
we do not have to keep it historic.
situation.
Correct, right.
So you can do whatever you want on the roof.
Exactly. Yep. You could do shingles, you could do metal, whatever. In fact, somebody was telling me today that there are people right now, like particularly the Amish, that want to purchase your slate. They will come buy it, they will take it off, make sure it doesn't break, and they want to purchase it. They'll pay per slate if it's not broken.
because it's considered a forever.
So, however much they pay, I don't know. I haven't got a chance to really delve into that, but could be a savings on replacing the roof if somebody can come take all that off. You know, the bell. If we want to sell the bell, that's brass, I think, right?
Yeah, it's brass.
There are people that pay good money for brass bells, and the cost to remove it, we'd probably have to have a crane. You know, so if we decided we want to remove this bell for whatever reason, somebody may come out and take it for us. So that cost of removal would be zero, really. In fact, we might make money because we'd sell the bell to them for the brass price. Does all that make sense?
You got trash pickup.
Yeah, trash pickup is, I didn't put it on here, but trash pickup is $24 a month. $24 a month.
But we could add that later if we need it.
Yeah. And yeah, we could take the trash to my house. I have a dumpster at my house. We could throw the trash away at my house. No problem. For a while, unless we decided we wanted to go ahead and get trash pickup. We can do that. But I didn't put that on here, so.
Because we don't have it here.
Huh?
We don't have it here, so.
Yeah, we don't have it here either, so.
But with the fellowship hall, we may add it later on down the road.
Yeah, if we're generating more trash. Yeah. So, questions about monthly expenses. Now the insurance, I think we pay $1,500 now. Is that
Yeah,
right?
1,500.
A month?
No.
No, we pay $11.60. It says insurance $11.61. So $11.61. So cheaper than what
It
we
went
thought.
up. 15
It went up
we did 1,500 this
So
year.
now it's 15. Gotcha.
It's an American family, right?
Gotcha. Okay. So insurance is $1,500. So what I told the guys, now here's one of the things, okay? So we're going to get into the part here on the purchase cost and everything. And let me see if I can get this up here. The thing that I sent y'all, technology. Let's see. There we go. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
Is it nice and warm?
all right. Do you have this up on the screen there, hun? On the little side screen?
Yeah.
Okay. Just so if Brother Harold's on, he'll see it.
Yes. Is this 3,375 what we listed for? that you're-
335.
You said 335, 334.9 is what they said.
So 335. I can't get this slider to be sensitive
It's
enough.
close enough.
Close enough. So what I put on here is broker non-broker fee and broker fee. So if he is the broker and someone is buying it that he is not their broker, they have their own broker, he charges 4.5%. If he is their broker and he is our broker, he charges 3.5%, which is why I put both of these toggles on here. So if you look at this, I did average up the men's room and the women's room a little bit higher and the reno slightly higher, 35,000. So right now, that roof, the main roof, slate roof, does not have leaks. So if it works out, if we don't have to change the roof immediately, I'm gonna leave it no roof just for a second. If we don't have to change it out immediately, that cost would be 0. The additional building does have a leak. We saw it in the ceiling and it's on the floor, it's in the carpet. Does have a leak, so regardless, it has to be replaced. Minimum shingle, preferred is metal. Preferred is metal.
One thing the lady told me about metal is that if there's hail damage, they won't replace the metal because they consider that cosmetic, but. who cares
Metal
if
roof
they-
cosmetic.
Yeah, they got a cosmetic clause, unless you have the cosmetic clause,
Okay,
your insurance, then they'll come paint it or replace it.
gotcha.
But if it's only dented from hail.
Bondo and fill the holes.
Yeah, little trial.
Yeah,
Some will put metal roofs right over the shingle roofs.
some do, yeah.
Not this case, we don't want that.
I have a company that's doing my
Zimmermans
roof.
do that all the time.
But if we got a leak, I'd like to check and see why it's leaking there.
Yeah, well, the company that's doing mine, they just put the furring strips right over the shingles. If it's, as long as it's 1 layer of shingles. If it's 2 layers of shingles, they take it off because it gets too heavy. But they put the ribs and then they attach the shingles to the metal to that.
Because snow load's only rated for so many shingles and so much snow.
Yeah.
So we put too many layers on there.
Yeah, it gets too heavy. So, okay. Roof. All right, looking at let's go back here and look at this real quick. So, renovations. So, the idea was at the other building, well, first of all, let's talk about sale price. So, sale price is $335,500. We have, let's just go worst case scenario, broker, non-broker, 4.5%. Okay? So, worst case scenario, if everything stays on here just as it is, this is how much cash. So you'll see at the bottom here, the green, that's after the sale price, after the commission, after all of the renovations, that's the cash that's left over, approximately. Okay?
So we're paying about 10 grand for broker fees?
10 or 11 was one. You'd have to just do the percentage for me, yeah. I could have put a total on here. Would have been made it easier. But 4.5%,
So it's based on 335.
Yeah.
it's based on the
So,
3,
Just over 15,000.
so just over 15 for the 4.5, and then 3.5 if he's broker. He really wants us to list it for 3, and we said no. I have a feeling he has somebody that he knows wants to buy it for that.
For 300,000.
Yeah. So we said no.
In my mind, that's what I felt this property is probably gonna go for, 300,000.
We'll try to squeak as much as we can.
Oh, yeah, well, obviously, we're gonna do that.
The
I-
lower end would be just under 12,000.
Under 12,000, yeah, 11 something for the 3.5. So 11 to 15,000.
This is a broker, it's not a realtor, it's the same
It's a
thing.
real,
It's the same thing. He is, yeah, he is.
it's a real estate broker.
He's a real estate broker, correct. Commercial real estate broker. All right, so 135.5. So this bottom should remain and update as we mess with this. So current men's room conversion, 25.5, women's room, 25.5, and general reno about 35,000. That's due checkups on the HVAC. And general reno, like, new carpet, new paint, various things. If the air conditioners are, sorry, go ahead.
How did you come up with that number
That's industry average price
for a building of that size?
for a building of that size.
Okay.
Complete reno, interior reno of a building that size, yes.
You have to guesstimate because you don't.
Yeah, we don't know. It could, that's why I have the slider. It could be more, it could be less.
Right.
We don't have to do anything to it. We could go in it with the red carpet. We could walk on red carpet every service.
I don't think so.
Hey,
Wow, that's
if you want it to be cheaper, I mean, hey,
Brother, it's the smell.
Yeah, yes,
There's
exactly.
a smell
You
from
know-
that carpet.
There's a smell with new carpet. I love the smell of new carpet. I don't know what it is. It's probably the formaldehyde.
I don't
bad.
know, I just know that
It's
after, carpets are like roofs, after they age so much.
Yeah,
We could even explore not putting carpet.
correct. We could.
We're about sound then.
We could do,
Get a carpet cleaner.
I could go for some foot tapping.
I know you could, sister.
No, I'm just making a joke.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that, it's cleaner. Trust me,
Yeah.
it's cleaner.
It's cleaner.
Daniel's asking about kitchen appliances.
Pardon me?
Daniel asked about kitchen appliances.
Yeah.
Kitchen appliances all stay. There's a stove there.
You need a refrigerator, we don't
We
have.
would need a refrigerator, yes.
I think we could do that with 91,000.
Refrigerator's about 1,500, right?
Well, I got one for, I think we got one for 1,000 once, if I remember right.
I got one for 850.
Yeah, it just depends on if you want it used or not. I wouldn't get a used one, I'd get a new one with a warranty. But yeah, we would need a refrigerator. I would get the biggest we can get.
Yeah, get an industrial.
With an ice
Industrial.
machine in it.
Ice machine would be great, that's a good idea, Ivan. Ice machine. One that sits, you open it up, it's got ice in it, you scoop it out, yep, exactly.
Maybe you can,
But that could all be done,
while we're talking here, ice machine that's separate from the fridge would be nice.
correct, exactly.
I knew, I think I told you this. I bought baked goods from a lady that has a business of her own.
Mhm.
And I don't know where she got them, but you know, like when you go into the, gas stations or the fast foods and they have the big refrigerator glass. Her whole garage, she had, you could tell they were from businesses that probably sold stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought that was interesting, cause she needed a lot of square foot.
So she turned her garage into a freezer or a fridge
Yeah,
somehow.
it's like a fridge. I think they
Wow.
were just refrigerators.
Hmm.
Like a drive-through that closed down.
But it was kind of neat because it was all, you could tell, it was like when you went in and, not that I go in and buy beer, but like the beer section.
Yeah.
Or the pop, or
Right,
the water.
yep.
You get refrigerators cheaper online than you can from appliance
Maybe.
places.
Maybe, I mean, we're getting off subject, you know, because a refrigerator would come after when we're there, right? If that never happens, we won't need a refrigerator here, so. But, so, the idea here is there are classrooms, okay, behind the bathrooms. Right now, there's single rear-end bathrooms. One toilet, 2 bathrooms, 1 toilet each, 1 sink each. I imagine they were probably put in before the addition was put on, you know, I don't know. But we would need to change that, obviously. So, first of all, I mean, it'd have to be brought up to code. There's gonna be certain things. I've got a call to Marshallville. I know some folks there. They're gonna get back with me tomorrow. I know, a little bit late. But, so approximately 25.5 for the men's room. And what we would do is, behind those 2 bathrooms, there's a classroom and another classroom in the hall, right? I don't know if that makes, I wish I had a picture of that up
There's
there.
2 rooms behind her.
Huh?
There's 2 rooms behind the bathroom.
Yeah, there's 2 classrooms behind the bathroom in a row.
Before you get to the office. The office
Before
is
you
the
get to
last
the
one on the
office,
screen.
correct. As you're walking down that hall, on the right, there's that HVAC and then the kitchen, right? And then the fellowship hall. On the left, there's first classroom, second classroom, third classroom, and either another classroom and an office, but there's several classrooms.
I don't remember, I thought there was only 3.
Well, there's a divider in the office, so they could have made it
Yeah.
2 classrooms.
Yeah. In fact, the fellowship hall has 2 sliders for dividers. The fellowship hall used to be 3 classrooms. That's neither here nor there, but that's what it used to be. So the idea was the first classroom, we turned into a women's restroom, and the second classroom, we turned into a men's restroom. And that's what these 2 costs are. If y'all wanted to live with a single toilet restroom, we wouldn't have to spend any money on bathrooms.
I think with the spirit of us wanting to invite people and.
Exactly. Yeah, right. Good call, sister.
The, what's the regulations for, making them handicap accessible?
There has to be.
I think it's required,
Yeah, you have to do it.
because we're kind of considered a public thing, public entity, kind of, a church's sort of.
But the ones we have now are ADA compliant, so they just.
Yeah,
That's what
we
I'm
kind of got
saying. They are.
grandfathered.
That way you could go
One
in
wide stall
Mhm.
in a big enough door
and
to get.
rails.
Get a
Yep.
wheelchair.
You gotta have a 5-foot radius for wheelchair accessibility.
Yeah, which, that wouldn't be difficult. Those classrooms are decent size. We could get several stalls in there.
I was just,
It'd be the same as they are now.
Yeah.
I mean, the bathrooms now are ADA compliant.
yeah, any reputable builder or
They'll know.
construction person would know that.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I'm sure we'd have a licensed plumber that'd be able to
That
handle all
was
that.
one of my questions, if we were looking to convert 1 or 2 of those classrooms, so it's 2.
Too. Yeah, because They're a little too small to make it worthwhile to convert one and make it 2 bathrooms. They're a little too
That would be
tight.
a weird shape.
Yes.
Matt's saying that he thinks that the churches are exempt from the ADA rules.
The what?
The churches are exempt from the ADA rules.
Churches are exempt from ADA? I don't know.
Not
Out here in
all of
Ohio.
them, from all of them.
No, if you put it in your parking lot, then you have to have ADA compliant in the house, in the
Yeah, I don't
church.
think we'd want
But
to
if
do
you don't
that
put it in
even
the
if
parking
we
lot, you
were.
I mean, if we have somebody with a wheelchair, we want them to be able to get in there.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
We
so,
make it that way anyways, just for,
Now, that one's
It's-
a little close to home here.
what's that?
Yeah.
I'm thinking of Mucka.
Oh. So,
I don't
No.
think it's an extra stretch to make sure things are
No.
ADA
I
compliant.
don't either.
yeah,
but if you
I
put it
agree.
in your parking lot and you put a space for it, then you have to have it in your building also.
right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, handicap parking.
Yeah, if you have
No,
handicap
you could,
parking.
fall underneath the traffic laws.
If we don't put handicap parking
Sorry, that
in-
was Daniel Prickett that said that.
Sorry?
It was Daniel Prickett that said that.
Oh, Daniel was saying
Yeah.
that we're exempt?
Yeah.
Could be exempt potentially?
Yes.
Because
Marshallville will let me know.
He said they're private, not public.
Private,
Chur-
not public.
Churches are private, not public.
if it's new construction, you have to have it. If it's not.
So,
Okay.
To Amy's point, I think it's a moot conversation if we all agree. Let's make sure.
Yeah.
I think you should do it.
Agreed.
I mean, it makes no sense not to do it.
Absolutely. So the cost in here, obviously, the slider can move back and forth. This is for that size room to turn it into multiple stalls, and I forget how many stalls it would take for each. But that's to turn that. Now, there could be some additional costs. I did include in there trenching the floor, because the floor would have to be trenched all the way through both classrooms to get the drainage in, and I believe water lines.
Yes.
Um,
Well, we can go down the block, but yes.
yeah, you could do it externally on the block on the water if you wanted to and drill through,
Down through the block, yes.
down through the block. Gotcha. So, but that is the average cost for that size room to turn it into multi-stall bathroom. Now, general reno is, I didn't put it on here, but it's mostly just, let's say, it's not structural.
Cosmetic.
It's cosmetic, thank you. Yes, so it'd be like paint, fixing, if it's drywall, fixing the drywall, fixing the leak, damage to the ceiling in the hall, the carpets, all the carpets. Whether we decided to do, I don't know, hardwood floor, if we wanted to do that, it'd be up to everyone else, whatever we did.
Fellowship Hall area, we definitely need a hardwood, not a carpet.
Yeah, or like a vinyl or LVP or something, yeah, exactly. Yep,
Not carpet.
not carpet, exactly.
Not indoor, outdoor carpet.
No, Florida did that, I think, and it was the tiles. They did the carpet tiles in the fellowship hall. You remember that?
You supposed to be
Before?
painting on that or something like that?
Yeah.
Kool-Aid?
They have tile now.
They were always peeling out the square, putting a new one in, always.
They don't stay down very long.
Yeah, no, we don't want to do
You
that.
can do a nature stone type thing too.
Could do that. Nature stone.
That might do some damage to the chairs.
Yeah, depending on, yeah, so, hey, peel everything up and epoxy the floor and
You can
put
use
some
a
sand in
faucet
it.
too. There's-
Put sand in it so we don't slip and fall.
Work.
Yeah. Yep.
Put them cobblestones down.
I don't know, I think we're getting off the rails here, so.
Just plant grass.
All right, so right now, as everything sits, if there are no other costs, now here's what we have to look at. So I told the guys, I said no less than $315 for the building. That was my thought. So if we bump this down to $315, so at $315,000, and the other thing I said too, I said if the insurance is going to be if it's going to be more than 15% of what we pay now. First I said if the insurance is going to cost us monthly 15% more, we should probably replace the roof. But I don't know if that's necessary. So we'll see. But at $315,000, now you see where the cash left over goes. So our margin of error on any of these projects goes down slightly, right? So if we open up for the men's room conversion or whatever, or say general reno, we find out we've got to jack the floor up somewhere. That's going to cost a little more, right? So this reno could go up to, say, 40,000.
Yeah, cause I was wondering about when we get a really thorough inspection,
Mhm.
what about things that might come up as surprises that we can't see now? I'm concerned about that floor sinking in the sanctuary.
Yep.
What about extermination needs? We know that there were bats in there, asbestos, black mold, just,
I didn't see asbestos. I know there's concern about asbestos, but I didn't see any asbestos. And typically with asbestos, you can either have it eradicated, which you have to pay for, or as long as it is in an area where you do not mess with it, if it does not, as long as you don't touch it, it doesn't become frangible.
As long as it's contained.
It won't get in the air. You can spray it with paint to hold the particles together. So many places that were built that way, I didn't see that here, but many places that were built that way, they'd put asbestos around heat pipes, things like that. They would coat it. And as long as it's in an area where no one's rubbing up against it, bumping it, touching it, and you coat it, you don't have to take it out. You don't have to pay to have it removed. You make it non-frangible. And so the word frangible means as you bump it, scrape it, particles get in the air. That's frangible. So
Down in the fellowship hall, that was built in the
That was my question.
that was in 70-something. Yeah, so it shouldn't be in that
So
building
when
at
was
all.
asbestos stopped being used for construction?
middle of the
You'd have to look it up.
I don't know, but in the floor tile could be asbestos.
I had a house that was built in the what was that house, hun, in the 50s, the Mary Esther Drive, and we had asbestos tiles under the carpet.
Yeah.
It was
you could
built in
have that.
54, I
Yeah,
think.
floor
But
tile.
there wouldn't be any of that in this fellowship.
Shouldn't be. Yeah, shouldn't be. So,
I think maybe in the kitchen is the only place I saw floor tiles.
Yeah, so there wouldn't be any there.
we'd have to,
Not a
we'd
good
have to
place
check them.
have asbestos in the kitchen.
Yeah, I doubt if they,
Like,
I hope not. In the apple pie, a little crunch in your teeth. So, all right, so I've kind of bumped up the reno a little bit just in case, because we did see a section in the front where it looked like it had come down a little bit. It might need to be jacked. Here's the thing with I have the contract on here too. They're giving us, if we decided to do this, they would give us 45 days to fully inspect. If we find anything we don't like, we walk away.
That's a
And we
really
lose
long
nothing.
Inspection period.
Lose nothing.
It is, because of that, that's why they're doing it, because they can't sell it, obviously, they can't sell churches, they don't flip them fast.
Yeah.
Mm.
So they're giving you a long inspection period because of the age of the building.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I was just thinking that's very generous. I've not ever seen any kind of.
I thought it was.
inspection period.
And in fact, that if you give earnest money, they give it all back in that 45-day time if you decide, if you find something, now you're under contract, obviously, but if you find something like the floor sinking, for instance, you're like, this is a structural issue that's compounded because of blah, 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 we don't feel comfortable taking on the cost of, putting a whole new wall in the building, for instance, we can walk away, get our money back. So that's all built in there. Roof. So now, remember, all these costs are all kind of set already, right? So they could change, obviously, but just as a general sense, that's where they are. So the roof on the main building, here's the thing. If we do have to replace it, I'm hoping that we do not. The cost would be zero, obviously. But if we do, we really can't do shingle. It's not worth doing a shingle roof on the sanctuary. To me, metal is the minimum. Metal. So if that has to happen, I don't think that it does right away. It doesn't have to right away. So we could leave this, if you feel comfortable, we can leave that now. Once we get our quotes on insurance and stuff, we'll know more, right, Steve? So once the quotes on insurance and stuff come in, we'll know more. But worst case scenario, that's where we are. And in my opinion, metal on the other one. That's where we are in surplus cash. In the
and
transaction.
that's with the bare minimum 315.
That's with the bare minimum 315. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Everything new.
And yeah, pretty much everything, new roof, HVAC brought up to speed, general reno complete, 2 new bathrooms. Other things we can do, like when I talk general reno, I mean everything's been painted inside.
But on top of that, we have whatever we have in the bank now to bring with us.
Exactly. Yeah, so this puts us in a building the fellowship hall attached, more room in essence. I mean, it's, we can seat 100 and some odd people in here. That one says it seats 100 as well. I mean, it's not apples to apples, but they're about the same capacity as this building, approximately. So, you know, it puts you in a building that's renovated. Everything is working. The plumbing's new. All the paint, carpets, or whatever we decide on the floors, all that stuff has been completely refreshed, and you put money in the bank.
I think the only, like, maybe immediate, and this is bottom of the totem pole here, but
Mhm.
a furnishing situation.
Yep, good question.
I know that there was a lot of opinions about the pews.
Yep.
I don't know that people buy church pews. I don't know that these chairs would be comfortable on that sloped floor.
Personally, I'm okay with the pews.
I like pews better than
I thought they were fine.
These chairs got my
I would say new cushions. But what do you think?
I just,
I would agree. I don't know that these would work very well on a sloped floor.
honestly, if we move forward with this, I would wanna know, like, in 20 years, if the Lord tarries, if we can have a not sloped floor, because I find it very awkward.
That would be difficult, I think, to make that not sloped.
Yeah, I know, it sounds very expensive.
It all has to do, at the time it was built, with acoustics and people being able to hear, because it puts everyone at an angle,
I
you know?
understand why it's that way,
Yeah.
it's just awkward.
We have an 8-foot ceiling on one end and a 4-foot ceiling on the other end.
And we have to be careful with people in wheelchairs. Don't let them go, okay?
You're
So-
They could
prepared
go
to
right
catch
down
it.
in the altar if you wanted
Put a
to.
bungee cord on them.
Yeah, right. Here's your safety harness, attach it to a hook in the back of the,
So if you're talking about putting new cushions on the pews, could we, I'm pretty sure you haven't researched that, but
I haven't.
would we be able to get a quote or something, or an estimate on that?
Oh, sure. And we can get
So
quotes
But
on
there are any
anything.
odds of getting cash for these chairs?
Yes. Well, what about those chairs you had put on there? Did they get sold or got rid of, or did you give them?
Just have them in storage at work.
Okay.
So if we'd want those for like the fellowship hall,
But I was thinking, like, did anybody show any interest in them? Like, what I'm thinking is it gonna be hard to sell these chairs, is what she's asking. To
I
be
don't
honest,
think they posted them anywhere to.
We
Okay,
already
gotcha.
have chairs for the fellowship hall, they're the ones we bought a couple
Correct.
of years ago. That's set.
Yep.
And tables. So we don't
And
give them
tables.
away.
Chairs, tables, all that stuff, yes. And a cabinet we got to put all the accoutrements in there.
So really just the sanctuary seating is, I think, like the last thing that would need to be decided one way or another.
Correct. And if, I don't know what that cost would be, let's just say $10,000.
But either way, we would have these chairs to bring with us, so we could just swap if necessary. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, you have that back room, I don't know what that would be used for. Currently
Everything would be, it would be organic, let's put it that way.
decided. as we go.
We'd, hey, this is a great use for this, or no, this is a bad use for this. It would just be something that would be, you know, if we moved in there, we'd kind of find our space, you know, as you do in your own house.
Right. So,
So if, I just put 10 grand as a, I don't know, for seating. Personally, the pews looked like they were in good condition to me, and they were comfortable enough. I would say new cushions, but, what's that?
Cushions for the pew, they would be 10,000.
No,
you don't think we
no.
should-
My thought was additional types of seating,
From that, like it would.
not just cushions, but other like seating was my thought for 10,000.
Just whatever it takes to
Yeah.
get it
Oh,
started.
that's.
Right.
That's where the extra.
So again, that adjusts that number like we're talking about, and this is the minimum 315. If, let's see, where are we at here? And again, that is with replacing both roofs. So these are all the costs,
Versus borrowing money here.
yeah, versus being in a deficit. Essentially, we are building rich and cash poor. Essentially.
Basically, you don't know, we're saying that we have this surplus.
Yes.
We have no idea of what the ultimate maintenance is gonna be on that place, really don't.
We don't.
We really don't. So we're saying we're counting on this surplus. I don't wanna be, I hate to be chasing money. I don't think that's really a good idea to do that. I know we're trying to get a lot of estimates, get some ideas and figures, this and that, but, we don't know. We don't know for sure. Don't know.
We don't know what it's going to be here. The roof could last another 10 years. The air conditioner could last another 10 years. We don't know.
Or
That's the
they
thing.
could both go out next week.
It could go out next week. I mean, that's
Well,
all of this is the same. Okay?
I think
All of it is we don't know.
Some places, like, when you don't have a lot of cash flow, you just, you get an estimate of what it costs to repair, and people commit to replacing things.
Mhm.
I mean, that's basically what our only other option would be.
Yeah. Yeah, we could take donations for a while and, you know, in the summer, if the AC went out, for instance, take donations for a while and just come in here in the heat. Do that.
You know,
Till we
you
have
get a new
enough.
furnace, buy a new furnace, and everybody pays it until it's paid for.
Yeah.
The furnace is
Borrow money.
rather new. The furnace is only about 4 years old, so,
So I just use
Yeah.
that as an
but,
example.
yeah.
But the one
But-
thing is, if those things go bad, like suddenly the roof is like, no, it's gotta be replaced right now because of this reason, or the HVAC goes out, now it's gotta be replaced for this reason, we can't sell at that point. Not for the same price.
Until we fix it.
Yeah, we would
Because
have to
nobody's
fix
going to
it.
want to buy it. You
And
know.
that won't necessarily increase the value substantially, not enough to cover the actual expenses of those items.
Yeah, we would spend more on replacing them to sell it than we would just selling it. And the other thing too is home warranties. A lot of times, I don't know, there are some that will do commercial home warranties. You can offer that, and they're usually anywhere from $500 to $1,200, $1,300 a year, and it covers those things. Let's say the air conditioner goes out, you have a deductible, they cover a certain amount of that expense. You could add that in as a incentive if they wanted to buy it. If they say, oh, you know, the air conditioner looks kind of old, well, we'll throw in a home warranty for you. Throw in a warranty. Those are options too. But again, we don't have any prophets in here telling us when the AC is going to go out, when the roof's going to start, when blow away. We don't. If a tornado comes and blows the roof off, we don't know. This is all planning. Yes.
Can I say something to that? Because when you said that, hey, this is coming up, and I want everybody to pray about this, and then you said, we're going to vote on this, and then we believed that the Lord was in the vote, I don't understand why we're sitting here now arguing over whether the Lord is still in the vote.
Good question. Good question.
Because we don't know what is in store for this building in 1 year from now. And the Lord could be directing us somewhere else for any number of reasons.
We have to have faith that God is leading us.
I might respectfully offer some perspective. I took the question of the vote as who is interested in taking the next step to learn more, not who is committed to trying to get this building.
That makes sense.
That's how I read it too.
Yeah, I think the whole process was, and I think in the beginning, and I'll have to apologize, we could have done a better job of doing what we're doing here to give us a better understanding of what the cost to own is here versus there. We did a lousy job,
And
really lousy job.
I feel
And
like,
that's on me.
for me, having this conversation makes me feel so much calmer because I'm not denying the fact that the Lord will guide us as a group. But the Bible does teach us to not be foolish about money.
Mm-hmm.
So I expected a step between the two. And it was a little off-putting that there wasn't like what did everybody think of the building before we put it up?
that's exactly right. Money is part of this equation. And maybe I don't have enough faith to make that step without at least looking at all the different angles, wherever they're gonna come from. They're gonna come from all directions. I don't, having faith to step out, I'm gonna say blindly, is not a good idea. Not a good idea. And at least putting up some numbers like this gives you an idea of where you're at financially. Because we're a very small group. We're only, what, 25 people? And no matter where we're at, it's still going to take money to keep the lights on. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if we're in Marshallville. It doesn't matter if we're here. We are a very, very small group. Very small. And in my opinion, no matter where we're at, we're going to be pinched. Doesn't matter. So it's just a matter of where it feels better to be pinched.
Where do you want to be pinched?
And I didn't say that.
Where are you going to be pinched? Come here, Brother Lynn.
That was the pastor's words. But
I meant location-wise, geographically, brother.
yeah, but at the end of the day, you know, we didn't think we were going to survive here.
Mhm.
We really didn't. Everybody was saying, yeah, we're going to have to do whatever I do, liquidate the building, blah, blah, blah. It seems to me like we're in the same position no matter where we go. Same position.
This is a crossroads.
That's not going to
Crossroads,
change.
yeah.
The fact that we have more of a building to take care of is it kind of makes nervous. It's a little nervous. I mean, we don't have a lot of folks to be running around doing maintenance work. We really don't.
No, we don't. Steve,
We don't.
we could run Steve ragged.
No, we're not going to
You
do
know.
that. That's silly to do something like that.
I agree.
So, those are the things you have to take into consideration. Yes, the Lord is guiding us, but those are the things you have to consider. You just got to do it.
Yep.
And nobody has a thus saith the Lord that we're supposed to do this.
Other than our vote.
That's not a thus saith the Lord.
I was, Brother Brandon said the majority of the people when they vote was the will of the Lord. So, I mean, you can look at it all kinds of ways if you want. Again, I'm not pushing for this or against this. So whatever the folks want, that's what I want.
And I do feel a little bit better seeing that we're committed to, if we move forward this, we're committed to correctly investing in the new space.
Mm-hmm.
For my part, I just wanted to make sure that everybody saw the numbers. The numbers felt a little, I expected that we would have had something like this conversation before the vote, and that was all. So
I understand.
when all
And-
the cards are on the table and most of us feel the same way, then I'm at peace with that is what the body wants. But I felt like it was, I guess I'm outing myself a little bit. But with all love and respect, it just felt a little vague
Yeah.
at
And
the time.
as the pastor of the assembly, I apologize for that, which is why I'm up here right now.
You don't have to apologize for
So.
outing yourself, that's what this is for.
Yes, this is for. Don't feel bad about speaking up. Don't do that.
We
But
definitely
again,
want clear communication, for sure.
what's that?
We definitely want clear communication, for sure.
Yeah, from this point on, I want clarity in everything that we do. There's nothing underhanded here. There's nothing. No one's sneaking around, and none of that is happening. But as far as the being transparent, maybe it was more like clear as mud. I heard that statement before. Clear as mud.
Yeah, I
But-
think so. I think so as I look back on it and,
But-
and kind of review all of the process, if you will, the whole process.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could have been a real head scratcher, yeah.
But I mean, you know, like I said, I apologize for the lack of to me, it was, I saw all the numbers and everything, and I thought I saw it all. But I think this makes it clearer.
I was
Personally.
very, very comfortable voting the way the thing was worded, because I thought there'd be a lot more steps.
Mhm.
I did not think that was,
I think just to
that's
see
why I didn't put a lot of weight on that vote.
yeah, just to look at the other side of it, as the trustees were looking at this, the vote was done, and in their minds, they were given a mandate because of the vote. So they went with that mandate.
Which
For that, I commend them.
you have
For
to
that.
you have to take steps,
You do.
find things out.
You do.
But it was worded different.
Mm-hmm.
It
Agreed.
was vaguely worded.
Agreed. So,
Nothing's reversible, or irreversible.
yeah, nothing's irreversible. But again, I think it's, for one, I believe this is a gift being handed to us. My opinion, personal opinion, if I'm allowed to have one. I'm still neutral, but I believe this is a gift being handed to us. And for whatever reason, why this building has, I don't look for signs. I'm not a sign seeker. But we have a building, y'all don't know, the brothers and us all sat around a table at a trustee meeting, deacon meeting, officer meeting, and the conversation came up organically that, hey, maybe we should look for another building. All four of us, without discussing it prior. So we thought, well, maybe we need to look into that. Maybe that's the Lord leading us. All four of us thought of the same thing before the meeting. And Brother Lynn, I believe you would be witness, and Steve would be witness that happened. So 2 witnesses. I'm not making it up. So that's what really started this ball rolling, to be honest. That was the catalyst, really. So as far as the logistics of bringing all this information to you, that's why we're doing this right now, to make it clear as glass instead of mud. So personally, my personal opinion, maybe I shouldn't give it, because I'm not here to sway votes in any possible way, but I believe this is a gift God's given us for whatever reason.
Tell us more detail.
The location, it's a great location. It's in a city center. Huh?
Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
We started looking for buildings, and they were like $400,000, $500,000.
Yeah.
You know, millions of dollars, and the only ones that were empty were in Akron or Canton or Cleveland. And all of a sudden, I looked at Crexie. I've never even heard of Crexie. And this one came up. It's like, whoa, that's a big building for.
So what y'all don't realize is we were looking at buildings, commercial buildings and other buildings, other locations for how long, Brother Lynn?
It's a while.
Months before we even brought this building up to y'all. So, not that means anything, but
There's a church in Orville who asking $390.
Yep.
$380.
Another
$394.
Methodist. Another United Methodist.
It's basically a turnkey. You wouldn't have to do a thing but open the door and walk in.
Yeah, I think it's $394. It's
We can't
much.
afford that either.
Our church would probably fill the first 2 rows in that building. It's so big. It's a big church.
Yes, Dalton.
Oh, Dalton, yeah, the one in Dalton.
Yeah, it was the Lutheran
United Methodist.
Methodist church on the corner, yeah.
But it's turnkey, y'all. I mean, it looks brand new in there, but they want $394. So you sell this one for $315. You get a little borrow money and get on.
Brand new is
mortgage
a stretch.
What's that?
Brand new is a stretch.
It was a stretch. Of course it was.
Yeah.
It was less used.
Yeah, yes, used.
A lot newer. No, so things like that, those obviously get dropped off and don't even get considered. So, but this one came up, and they're willing to take the $125,000 for it. They're willing to take $125,000. I don't know if I had that on here.
Probably come down from 149.
149, and it was higher than that before, year and a half or whatever it was ago.
179 or something like that.
Yeah, so, again, if we don't have to have a roof on the main building, that's where we are, so. And I know it was mentioned, we don't want to chase money. We don't want to chase it for money. That green number, that green number is not what we're chasing. What we're looking at is a location where everything's under roof. Fellowship
Yeah, I
Hall, more parking. The lot, by the way, is like 0.7 something acres. This is 0.3 something. It's double the acreage.
0.41.
So it's double the acreage, nearly. Yeah. So, does that help everyone, their minds? Make it clear.
Yeah, all the questions that I wrote down, I didn't have to ask them, they were answered.
Excellent. Anybody else have questions? Personally, I think that's how God works. You come to church, you have a question in your mind, it gets answered over the pulpit. I'm not saying that I'm God at all. But I think when we come together, we're prayerful, we come together, everything is transparent.
I think regardless of whether we move or not, this is for a purpose to draw us closer together.
Sure,
Whether we move to the other
it's a
church or not.
test.
Yes.
It was a test.
Because we went over a hurdle when we split. And now God's turning a corner again for us.
So, does anybody have any more questions? Any more concerns?
Well, I just wonder, like, why, I never grew up in having a fellowship hall, so I don't really understand. I don't get why, maybe educate me of why it's.
Well, this church never had one, so the entire assembly, as long as this church has been here, they're accustomed to not having one. So, the one thing that having a fellowship hall does is it opens the door for more fellowship. Well, it does. Otherwise, you're renting a building over here, or can we get that one? No. Can we get that one? Maybe, maybe not. It's going to cost.
You're very limited.
Yeah, it limits that. I mean, we can have services, and you can have people and invite people for services and stuff, but when you start to have fellowships together,
We can have more than 4 a year.
yeah,
Even if it wasn't for the fellowship hall, it's still moving and having stuff fixed and not have to borrow money.
and yeah, I mean, like I said, I believe it's a gift, but
In Florida, we did fellowship, the fellowship hall was used also for other activities. For
Yeah, it
bridal
was.
showers, I mean, we're not having a lot of weddings and things, but bridal showers and, the ladies had a quilting thing for a long time, they did quilting there.
Bingo night.
It is also easier to keep the sanctuary when you have the fellowship hall.
We
correct,
could be having meetings like this in the fellowship hall.
Absolutely.
correct.
Poker
Yes.
parties.
Yeah, the sanctuary, really, technically, this should not be done in the sanctuary, because Brother Brennan was very clear with church order and all. This should be kept sacred. We do our Bible studies, which is more informal. But at that place, the Bible studies could be done in the fellowship hall. The Bible studies could be done in the classrooms. They're big enough. And it would keep the sanctuary separated. Really, we should be doing that, to be honest.
We take all the electronics, all the
Yeah,
stuff.
everything would-
Calling it stuff.
If we want it, I mean, it's so buzzy. I don't know.
Well, we'd have to do something there. We'd have
Yeah.
to put electronics in there.
Bunko games.
Yeah, I mean, it's, well, it's, what do y'all think? Not putting anybody on the spot, but if anybody else has any more great ideas,
How much parking is there?
All around the whole building.
Right now, there's a rock area, a place with rock. Let me see if I can get a,
There's also about 6 spaces in the road, which would not probably be in high demand on Sundays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just thinking, like, when we do have, like, you know, a lot of visitors, like, how would that,
I, you know,
but I
honestly,
just don't remember how big that parking.
in that scenario, do you know what I would do? Is go across the street to at that little bank and ask them if we can allow people to park there on Sundays.
yeah, that's
That's
doable.
what
Nobody will be
they
there at the bank.
They don't
There's
use
a
it on
red
Sundays.
map, yeah, right there. Right there.
I don't know how to make that bigger.
Just tell them that was like a rare case scenario that we might wanna do and.
And you can park all along the back too, right?
There's also street parking
Street
right out
parking
front.
on both sides.
Yeah, there's street parking on both sides. This is all parking. This is rock back here.
Yeah, the
This-
parking lot is rock.
Yeah, this upper half is rock. I don't know why it looks like that color there. Probably had before it was overgrown or whatever. But this is
Rain, gravel.
pavement somewhere in here, I
Yeah,
believe.
it's all pavement there, blacktop.
Yeah.
So that's
You
all
can add
rock.
more parking, take more grass out.
It wouldn't hurt to just put more rock on it. You know, that's part of the reno thing that would have to be done. Rock is not super expensive. Drive around here. This is a shared drive. That's a shared drive.
Is it?
So these people here, and technically that should not be a shared drive.
They're
But
parking on the tree.
they're parking here because they don't really have a parking spot over there where they pull in.
Oh, so it's legally a shared drive or?
No.
They're just using
Okay.
it.
But I don't want to be, if we were to move there, I wouldn't want to be fussy with those neighbors. I'd say, hey, if we're not there, you can park there, but if, on Sundays, please don't, and on Thursday nights, please don't, or whatever. You know, just be open with them.
It was like Dave, Dave does that now.
They don't have a driveway?
There's it's like
Alley kind of.
it's like an alley, yeah, and I think it's shared with might be shared with another house over there, but no. I think this is their garage, right there, I think, if I remember right. But I don't know why they park there. They like that spot better, I guess. That would have to change, obviously. So, but that's the layout of the land, as it were.
So it looks like the sanctuary roof's about as big as the addition roof.
Yeah, just taller. The pitch is higher, so that makes
Steeper slope.
it longer, right? So it's a little more square footage.
If we moved forward sooner rather than later with the slate roof replacement,
Mm-hmm.
we also have the bell tower removed.
Mm-hmm.
Unless there's something wrong with it, we leave it.
We don't have to have it removed, but I'm not in love with it. I don't,
Yeah,
you know,
In my opinion, it'd be a good idea to take it out.
Unless it costs more, then there's no point.
yeah. I mean, it depends on what it would cost to do it. I mean, basically, you take it out, you put in your joists, and you put roof over it.
Yeah,
Probably in the long run, it'd be less maintenance.
And yeah, in the long run, it would be less maintenance because you have that nice 2 flat sides. Yeah, that's the simplest roof to install is one with gables.
Yeah.
It's just
Then
a
we could sell
V.
the bell.
Sell the bell.
Or we can make a box for
You
it.
do
Put it in
scrap
the
it.
hallway. Put it in the hallway
Like
and
the
make
Liberty
like
Bell.
a clear plexiglass box for it, like a historical.
Yeah.
Marshallable
You put it in there.
bell,
Yeah.
like the Liberty.
Yeah, sis, you go ahead and put that in there.
Put a crack in it though.
Oh, yeah, the Liberty bell.
But it's not just fixing the roof, it's taking it down. You have to use a crane to take it down.
Correct. Which the thing was, we could sell it, and whoever would buy it would have to remove it. Which would save us costs, because I ain't climbing up there and trying to get it down.
Take it to S&A Recycling in Worcester, see what you get for pound.
Probably get more than that for it.
If you sold it to a private investor or a private person,
Collector,
a what?
collector.
Collector, yes. If you sold to a private collector, you would get a lot more than you would for the brass price.
Where would they put it?
That's their problem.
Living room.
That's their problem.
For a
Getting it-
museum.
Yeah, they
Getting
want
it
it.
down is easy, but repairing the street afterwards might be difficult.
Yeah.
Very good.
So
Gives me a headache.
clear as glass.
Much clearer, and thank you.
Hmm?
Yes.
Sure. Sure. Looking at our 2023, 2024, and 25, it looks like we've gone up in amount of money that we have coming in. I don't know if that's a fluke or if y'all all got raises. We have another family coming here. We have other families that want to come here, that are trying to come here. So, I don't know. We'll see. We don't know.
Who's another family coming?
The Buttrells.
Matt Butcher.
Daniel and Linda. David and, I don't know if Dakota would come or not. But we don't know. I'm in conversations with pastors all the time. And they're always saying, I've got somebody I want to send to you. They're moving into that area or whatever. And I say, send them. And I've reached out to one or two of them. I haven't heard back. But, the goal isn't to grow, but the goal is to be able to grow. If we have the same mindset that the Lord's coming tomorrow, which we should, the Lord's coming tonight, tomorrow, we plant our potatoes still that are going to be harvested next season. So Branham said if he knew the Lord was coming that day, he would get up that morning and go plant his potatoes. He would still stay in the work.
And it's not growth in terms of increasing in number, but being able to receive those that the Lord would send to us.
The other thing is, this is in the middle of a city center. This used to be the hub of Marshallville. In fact, I think Steve, he said he has gone to that church in Marshallville before. The guy who lives behind us, he's been there.
Steve Scheller.
Yeah. So Satan can easily put it in our minds that the pastor wants a bigger church. The people want a bigger church. We're just trying to make it bigger. That's never in my mind. But if that is going to happen, we need to be able to sway with the wind without breaking. Hopefully that analogy makes sense.
That's the reason this is available, is because nobody wants it because it's too small.
Yeah. Most people want bigger churches. Actually, if y'all ever asked for that report I did, that's very interesting on what started happening back in 25 and 26. Churches began to merge and incorporate because they were losing members. And they began to go out of business. And so what they began to do is form partnerships with other denominations. So you had Pentecostals, for instance, and the Methodists forming partnerships and joint buildings because they couldn't afford the buildings they were in. That's very interesting. But that's for another day. So, I don't know. What else can I say? What else do I need to say? What else do you all want to say that you're not saying?
I don't think churches, especially churches in the message, if you look at even the Lyman Church, it's a big church. I know they got 300 people.
Mm.
If you look at them over a 10-year period, they probably don't grow a lot, they don't lose a lot, so it's probably pretty static.
Mm.
And I think if you look at churches, message churches like that, that's kind of how it is. They don't get bigger, they don't get smaller, they just kind of stay static at one level.
A lot of them get smaller.
Yeah, and if anything, they could get smaller. Well, look at us, we got smaller in a hurry.
We survived something that many churches do not survive.
Yeah, that was a dramatic thing.
It was God's grace. And in the majority of cases, this is town hall, right? We just talk. In the majority of cases that I see, being fellowshipping with all those that I fellowship with. The pastor dies. What's the church do?
Gotta split.
Some, they just have a revolving preachers coming in. They never get a pastor, which is not scriptural. They just have revolving preachers. They never have a path, a direct path forward. Or they play the pastor's tapes. The dead pastor's tapes. Yeah. And they stay static.
Yeah, I think that goes on and,
And then there's others that play the tapes, the
Yeah.
Jeffersonville tapes. Yeah. To me, that is so sad. Because the Holy Spirit, if He plants it, He'll water it. If we stay in the Word, God's going to take care of it. Until He comes and says, close the doors, go home. And I think He'll let us know that. I believe God is going to continue to lead us. I do. And this is a minor speed bump. That's all it is. We either do it or we don't. But I know what the Lord showed me Monday morning, coming down to go to work. I know what He told me. And I was like, I told Hope when I came down, I said, man, I'm really sad. If this was a test and we failed, that's on me. I ain't preaching the Word then. Simple as that. I'm going to answer one day for what I say over this pulpit.
well, the whole purpose is that no matter where we're at, we can do this in a tent if we have to.
Absolutely.
If we have a foundation on the Word, then,
Right.
that's the proper direction to go.
Right.
And so it doesn't matter where we're at.
That's right.
It doesn't matter.
In fact, I was going to say, the church isn't the building. The church is the people.
Well, sure.
That's the church. So, doesn't matter where we worship. I believe if this is the place we worship and the maintenance costs more, the money's going to be there. That's not me stepping out and saying, go for it because whatever reason we're just going to push into it. I don't believe that's the right answer either, not pushing into it. We want to go into it informed, yes, because I believe being good stewards of where God leads us and what God does for us, we need to be good stewards of what God's doing for us too.
Yeah, I think what happened here, we had to reorganize our minds.
Yeah.
And think about what we wanted to do.
Sure.
Or we're going to disband and break up and
No.
go our separate ways.
Hope not.
No,
Not
I was-
over
I
this.
was saying during that period of time.
Oh, yes, back then, yes, correct.
I'm not saying that.
Yeah, brother, sorry. Take me back in time with you, brother, for a minute.
Want to go back in time, and
Yeah.
that was a rough period.
Yes, it was.
And of course, we were up against the wall in a lot of things.
Yes,
And obviously, God led us through that period.
correct.
He really did.
And I told Brother Lynn, I said, Brother Lynn, I believe we did it wrong. We handled it wrong.
Oh, absolutely. That's yeah.
And I said, by the grace of God,
There again,
we won't ever do that again.
I have to make another confession.
It says,
I have a question
Yep.
about the procedure. So
yes,
the house is on the market, I think, my understanding was that there's not a listed price on it yet because the appraiser didn't come back yet?
Appraiser
Yeah.
would come back.
Okay,
You just have to sign the documents.
yeah.
Okay, so, if it comes through and if we don't get what we want for this place, is it just like a stop?
It's
No
a
go?
hard stop.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's.
Anything
choice.
below 315 is a hard stop, in my opinion. Yeah, what? I see the gears turning.
It's just procedural. Honestly, this might be off the beaten path for the purposes of this meeting, but just, because it's really just more transitional steps.
Mhm.
But we would have that 45-day inspection period and we would
Yep.
get our money back.
Correct.
Is our money, does that mean we've already sold this building?
No, that's
Or the-
earnest money.
It's earnest money.
That's whether we still.
Earnest money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Correct. That would,
No,
yeah,
we're not gonna do that.
we're not gonna do that.
So selling of this building would be contingent on us getting that other place,
Yes, for us it is,
getting through the inspection period to our satisfaction.
correct.
Also-
Now, here's the caveat on that, so that you all have to consider. I sent them a proposal, and I said, we'll give you $3,000 as earnest money. We'll pay you $125,000. We're gonna agree to pay $125,000. They agreed to the $125,000. I said, we'll give you $3,000 earnest money. You give us 120 days to sell this building. If we don't do it in that time, you keep the money. That's standard practice. And of course, if we do sell it and buy that building in 120 days, they rejected that because they don't like the 120 days. They want 60 days. So the downside to making a contract like that is you're obligated to buy it. So the problem is, if we don't sell in 60 days, if we go through with this and give them their earnest money, and they say, well, no, we'll only accept the 60 days, and we don't sell this within 60 days, what do we do? Right? Right?
We have a
We'd have to get a mortgage.
You have a 45-day inspection period, and at any point during that inspection period, you can say, oh, I'm sorry, the floor is sagging here, we think that this isn't gonna be a great fit for us. By the end of 45 days, we would know whether we've had any bites on this building or not.
Yeah, I think, in fact, we've already had some.
That's why when you said 45-day inspection period, that's a fantastic out. I would love to have 45-day inspection period for my long.
The downside is, if we give the earnest money now and say, yes, sign on the dotted line, we have 60, we are on the countdown,
Yeah,
60 days.
that's how it works.
And if we don't sell in 60 days, we're gonna have to get a mortgage on it,
Is it
till
possible
this
just,
place sells.
can we just like stall them out? Because it's not like that place is moving.
I don't know how you would do that.
Just like,
I don't know how you would do that. Go ahead.
This is, I'm gonna put a spiritual thread on this comment, and I put it on the altar, and, you know, if my humanity is in it, then God, take it out. The fact that the property was on the market for so long, why don't we just put it in the hands of the Lord and don't do anything of these periods of days?
That's the thing is, you know, do we keep this on the market, not do anything over there, let it sit, don't sign a contract, and when we sell this, then we have footing to do all of that? That's option one.
Is that what you meant? Yeah, okay. I didn't
Option
understand what you
two,
meant.
we give them the earnest money and move forward.
Wait and see what happens with offers.
The downside is, if this sells next week, we're gonna have to be out within so many days before closing.
Maybe that's the part I wasn't seeing.
Yeah, that's the thing, is we would kind of be homeless. You know, so
if it's,
we could have church in the fellowship hall
Fine.
in my house.
We
Yeah.
can also put
You
an
guys find
addendum
timber.
in the contract to where we could rent this building until
Yes.
we're able to get into that.
Correct,
That's a good idea.
correct. Yeah, so again, you know, we don't know the future. We have to make decisions based on what, we have to have contingencies, obviously, in decisions that we make.
The lamplight's one step ahead at a time.
Hmm?
Thy word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. It's
Correct,
one thing Brother Bill used to say, you can only see the next step.
that's right. We can only walk in the light God gives us.
That's okay.
That's okay. So,
But I know for a fact that God kept this church alive, the people that is, and us still believing for a reason. And whether we're pushing forward too fast or not pushing forward hard enough, or whatever we're doing wrong, God will fix it and God will correct us.
Mhm.
Because He knows our hearts. He knows our mindset. He knows that what we have need of and when we have need of it. And so I believe that He did that for Abraham and Isaac. I mean, He'll stop the hand, you know, just before, if that's the case.
mhm.
Something will happen and we won't get it, or we won't sell the building. But we have to be moving for God to lead us, I think.
My analogy has always been GPS. if you're sitting in a parking lot and you start your GPS up and you type the address in, if you look at the screen, it shows you going that direction. Until you start moving, then it can align itself and show you, oh, you're supposed to be going this direction. If y'all ever do that on your GPS in your car. I had to use that exclusively at AT&T, and it happened to be all the time. I was like, there's got to be a spiritual thing in there.
Just like something from my personal life, and it's been a very long time ago now, but when I was gonna go down to Chile for the first time for my study abroad, I got a little bit of doubt in my mind as to whether or not it was, I don't know, it was like a single young woman, maybe if there was a rightness or a wrongness to it. And it was something I wanted, I thought it would be good for me. So I just put it before the Lord. I said, Lord, this is something I want in my heart and my humanity, but if it is not your will, I will accept the roadblocks. My visa won't go through, the financing won't go through. I will take that as you saying no. I'm willing to be told no. But he had 5 or 6 ways that he could have clearly just made it not happen.
Right.
And that's exactly why we have this meeting today, so everybody knows how to pray now. And God will do that. I believe he's done it for everyone.
Yeah. We haven't signed a contract to put this on the market yet. Signs out there, but in order to do all of that, you have to come up with a price. So.
He's got my name on it, which I'm not signing.
Uh-oh.
I'm not signing. He said, it's just a placeholder. I said, I'm definitely not signing that.
So,
I just feel like that building, I don't see what people could use it for.
other than that, other than a church,
And churches aren't a hot commodity anymore. It's like,
no.
that's why I'm not. Is that, I don't know, I'm not in real estate. Is 500 days a lot for something to be?
A
on?
lot.
Ours was on the market for
A day.
3 days?
sorry, a day.
1 day.
Yeah.
Before we went to contract.
Yeah.
I think Joy and Aaron's house is on the market for a week. And it's sold. I mean, I'm just wondering, I don't know a lot about it, but that just seemed like,
What's on the
I just
market?
felt like when I heard that, I said, well, that looks like God's just been holding back the waters of the,
Of all the buyers.
I mean,
Well, it's been on the market, been under contract like 3 or 4 times, and
yeah,
it's been pulled
Yeah.
back.
that kind of happened when we were trying to buy her house.
But that's a long time to be on the market for a church, let alone
Yeah.
any other business.
I mean, churches aren't that popular, like you said. I think you're
Well,
right. I think churches just aren't
Didn't
that
you say
popular.
they only want to sell it to somebody who wants to
They
use
want
it
to
as
sell it to a church, yes.
They had a,
Correct.
I think they will sell to anybody, but.
they had a guy that was gonna buy for a home, and Marshallville approved it, and he realized it was gonna be too much money, and so they said, and they wanted too many things too many things on the contract, so they said, no, we're not selling to you. So they pulled back. The other guy wanted to buy for a YouTube channel for a garage, and he wanted to do all kinds of things, and the city of Marshallville approved it, and said, okay, you can do these things. But then he wanted too many things, stipulations in the contract, and the council, Lutheran council, or Methodist council, whichever, they said, no, we're not selling to you. And so the realtor said to me that they want to sell it to a church. That's why they're willing to come down to 125.
It's interesting to me that it's been on the market so long, and yet they won't take our offer of 120 days to sell our building.
I know.
It's just sales, they're just trying to push the hand.
I imagine it's the realtor.
Yeah, they're just trying to
Probably
push
not the organization, it's probably the realtor, because he wants to, a
I'll be honest,
quicker
he's
sale.
taking care of it.
What's that?
He's taking care of this thing for like 3 years. He's like, I can't get rid of this.
Yeah. So, well, I hope,
Thank you.
sorry? Anybody
She's
else?
correcting my numbers 3
Oh.
years.
So,
Can we do like meetings like this, updates on the progress every
absolutely.
so often?
I think, I don't know how often we'd want to do them. We could do, personally, if things start rolling, I think every other week would be more,
If there's like a major development
yep, call one,
ad hoc.
Yep.
What? I don't know what that means.
on demand.
Yeah,
Yep. Yep. I agree. We can do that for sure. And we can keep everything updated like this. Okay, so one thing I did want to tell y'all is our website. So it's now omegatabernacle.org, obviously. But if you look at the page, there is a secret button right there
You put a secret button just
to
for-
this.
Oh, okay.
So it's right above service times. Now that we've streamed it, everybody
It's not
knows.
secret anymore.
It's not secret anymore.
All 2 people that are gonna watch that
Right.
whole video.
Exactly.
Such riveting
It's so
content.
riveting.
Right?
We're
So-
gonna go viral.
It might,
What-
it might.
What I'm going to
But
do
we're
is
about
I'm going to
secret button.
update, I'm going to update the page so that the 2 buttons are up to the right of church service times and church order. To the right, they'll be above each other. So y'all just click on one and just kind of eyeball it, and what you'll get is you'll get this the property transition, and you can do the sliders. You know, if you want to say, what if we make, if we make so much or so little or whatever. And then the other one is the expenditure one. With this expenditure one also allows you to slide them. Now, when you load this page, it'll load back to defaults. So, but it gives you something to kind of look at the costs and slide them around and mess with things if you want to. The other thing that we have on this page is the proposed purchase agreement. So this is for the parcels, and this is the purchase agreement that, I believe this is the one I sent them.
Yes.
I still got the suggested amendment. So what I did is I took the purchase agreement and I gave it to Gemini, and I said, analyze this. I gave it our data on, we have this building, we can sell it for approximately this, and this building over here, they want this, and I gave it all the data, and I said, we don't want to borrow money. I gave it some stipulations, and it came back with another document and gave me changes to make in that document, and those are the changes that I made that they did not accept, which one was 120 days. Of course, they'll take our earnest money, whatever that is, but that was the one main thing. They want a stipulation in the contract that if we can't sell it within 60 days, we'll seek, or do we have to seek financing in 60
Yes, they
days?
wanted to seek financing.
We have to have it sold, we have to have that building bought within 60 days. That's the contract they want us to sign. We have not signed that.
'Cause then they
That
have to-
building bought, like the whole process done.
Yeah, 45 days to inspect, and they want it, let me see if it's in here.
I thought it was like the
15 days to
process
seek
was
financing.
started
Let me look, see if I
to buy it.
can find it.
15 days for financing is not enough.
No, just a second, let me find it.
Under contract, right, you've got
15 days right
financing
there.
approved for or
Is
something?
that? Okay. So, inspection contingency. Buyer shall have 45 days from the date of seller's acceptance of this agreement to direct its agents to conduct such inspections, including but not limited to structural, mechanical, environmental, and other investigations of the property. Nothing with rent tolls or tenant leases, none of that stuff is there. And we can also receive profit and loss statements for the last 3 years. They'll give us that data. What else here? Where's it at?
Up above that
an
was the
income
15
Is it above?
days. Right there, below the red,
Closing date and
closing
possession.
date
We have
possession.
Ah.
income. I guess it's not for, we're not for profit, but everything still stacks up the same as
They
business.
still
Like,
consider it business.
Right.
we don't wanna like take our profit and put it in our pockets and go spend it crazy, but we do wanna make sure we're in the black so that,
Right. We don't want to be in the
Yeah,
red.
obviously, yeah.
that's all they mean. Okay. What were their books when they were functioning as a church?
Now, they may, I changed this to 120 days. I know that's extreme from 60 total. We could probably send another revision of this. Maybe make it, instead of 60 days, maybe make it 90 days. They might accept 90 days. In other words, you'd have 45 days to inspect. Now, keep in mind, within that 45 days, they want us seeking financing. And they want it closed within 15 days of the 45 if we find no problems. That's the whole thing. That's the whole thing. So we could send, it's up to you guys, but if you want to do this, we could send them something, say, instead of 60 days, say 90 days. So that'd give us 45 days to inspect, and from that time, 45 days to sell and buy, or get a loan.
I like,
They didn't take the 120, so we have to dial it back. So,
I like the idea of sitting and see what happens.
just see what happens.
Research first.
Hey, the Lord can do anything,
That is absolutely true.
Except fail.
anything.
Oh, on a side note, that Steve guy from behind us came down, and, you know, we prayed for his son not that long ago. And
Mhm.
I forget the name of the disease, it's some kind of muscular deterioration disease.
Yeah, this,
And he said it stopped. He said that he's 7 years old and it deteriorates fast. And he said people don't live that long, and his disease has stopped. It's not getting any worse.
Yeah, it's not getting worse.
That Lisby
Yep.
has?
yeah,
I was
Steve
just
Shepard.
asking her about that.
Mm-hmm.
It was son Joseph, yeah.
So we'll take that as
That's
a
awesome.
blessing.
He came over and he was asking us, did he do something wrong? Why we had the sign out there? Like, no. I told him, I said, I swung my hand and looked back at the property. I said, well, we can't expand. Hint, hint. You know, if he could sell us a half an acre.
As his chickens are coming in the parking lot.
Yeah, they're his chickens.
Yeah. And your chickens, by the way.
Yeah, Thomas is chicken.
Yeah. No. But that's where we are on this. Financing contingency, this is what they were asking, and the suggested amendment is what Jim and I told me we could do. I use it as a tool just to give me ideas, okay? My wife says it's my best friend, but it is not.
It is his best friend.
Buyer's obligation under this agreement are contingent upon buyers securing adequate, commercially reasonable financing to close this transaction. And I had changed all of that to that we do not require financing. I forget how I worded it. And that we wanted 120 days instead of the 60 here. And it's 60 days from the date of seller's acceptance of this agreement. So the clock begins as soon as you sign the contract.
Or technically, as soon as they accept it.
As soon as they
As soon as it
accept it,
arrives in
correct. Yeah, so I don't think we want to do that.
I just don't feel nervous about it at all,
Yeah,
personally.
yeah.
Personally.
I mean, if the building sells or if they tear it down, I also, I know I'm not finishing my sentences, but I have a call coming in from Marshallville. They're supposed to call me in the morning. They couldn't call me today. They have to call me in the morning. And I'm going to talk to who's zoning or somebody over there. And I'm just going to get some information from them about this building. If there's any special zoning they would require of us, or can we just move in, et cetera. I'm just going to ask a bunch of questions and see what they say. So I'll post that somewhere, maybe in the chat, or put another secret button or something. I don't know.
Tell us later.
Secret button. But originally the earnest money I had put on there was 5,000, but then I changed it to 3. So this isn't accurate. I reduced it to 3 because I was like, if I got to come up with the earnest money myself, I'd rather come up with 3 than 5, out of my own pocket. So, but I don't think the earnest money was the issue. The issue was 120 days. They didn't like that. So I think if we're okay on moving forward with the thought that if the building sells, we either rent it from them for a little bit or we have service in my garage for a while. We're not sign seekers, okay? We're not looking for God to strike lightning down to make a decision for us. But we are asking the Lord to guide us. So we all need to be prayerful. And I don't want to tell you how to pray, but I would just pray that the Lord's will be done. Don't pray, Lord, can you make it happen?
Sure.
It's not what we want to do. We want to ask the Lord, Lord, if it's your will, then we're willing to step through that open door, essentially.
Some examples in the Bible, the guy asked for 10 more years.
Mhm.
They were horrible.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think that's a good suggestion, sis. I think we continue on the path we're on and see what happens. But I also think we need to establish a minimum hard stop. My suggestion was 315 hard stop. God could give us 500 if we wanted, if that was His will that we get it. God can do whatever He wants to do. I knew Brother Stan, for instance. He went to sell his property in a down market, in an expensive house. It was a down market. There was no way. They told him, "You're not going to get the price you're asking." He said, "Well, I'm going to put it on the market anyways." When he was becoming a full-time pastor, when he was closing down his business, I believe that was the same time frame. But it sold within a day or two, and he got every penny he asked for in a down market.
We did too.
So God can do, it's almost like maybe we should ask God for $500,000. Sounds crazy, right? But we're not chasing money. We're going to ask for a good
What about a
good
good
market
healthy
price.
bidding war?
A bidding war. That would be great for us. We could, I don't know, maybe even fix the stained glass windows.
Well, since they put the
With
sign up
new
there,
ones.
we already had to call about it.
Yeah, it's already generating. We could be homeless next week. We don't know. I know y'all. Y'all are
We're
homeless.
almost now. Somebody's beating me every day.
All right. I think we're done, right? Stick a fork in us, we're done, I think, as the song goes. I think we're overdone. Feel free to call me with questions, email me with questions.
Don't
Tech-
email, you saw his email.
I may not get
Is
that.
that what he said to email him?
Yeah, I think it's so,
Email
y'all
him
see
on
his
there.
inbox, don't email.
Yeah. Or in the chat. Throw your question up in the chat.
Text
That's
it.
fine too.
Answers text.
In the WhatsApp chat, just put a question in there. And if I don't know the answer, we'll research it. And that will actually help build content for the next time.
That's a good idea.
So we'll stay on it.